Hey everybody, welcome back to Mike's Wooden Things and Stuff, and welcome back to my kitchen for another stuff episode. I'm gonna make French onion soup for dinner tonight, and I thought I'd bring you along, show you how I go about making a batch of French onion soup, and yeah, it'll be fun. French onion soup is one of my favorite meals. You can use it as an appetizer, which I do sometimes when I go out to restaurants. But sometimes I like just making a big batch of French onion soup and having a couple of bowls for dinner. So let's start by showing you what we need in order to make it, and then we'll get into making it, and then we'll get into eating it. All right, cooking show, look out, come on. All right, so obviously the main ingredient in French onion soup is onions. You're gonna need a bunch of onions for this. I'm making soup for about 4 or 5 bowls today. So depending on the size of the onions, these ones are about 2.5 inches or so across. Probably going to use 2 to 3 onions per bowl that I'm making. We're going to need about a 1/4 cup of salted butter. We're going to use a whole box of beef broth. It's about 1 liter, 4 cups or so. We're going to need a wine. We're going to need a red wine. This is an Australian Cabernet Sauvignon. Do not use cooking wine. Cooking wine is garbage, but don't buy expensive wine to cook with. Buy something that you could drink if you wanted to. For this recipe, you want something relatively full-bodied. I've used Cab Sav, I've used Merlot, I've used Shiraz, whatever. This is your olive oil. You're going to need some olive oil. You're going to need some salt and pepper. Wait, that's not pepper. Salt, pepper, a little bit of thyme, and a whole bunch of garlic. So, this is what we need. People think that French onion soup is tougher to make than it really is. It's not. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-ish ingredients and some seasoning. Let's get to it. Alright, relatively decent size pot on the stove. It's about a 1/2 inch of a stick of butter that goes in there to start. We'll get this melting down as we're chopping up onions. We're going to add approximately that much olive oil. That's about 3 good-sized glugs of olive oil. We'll start getting that melted down, and we'll go chop some onions. Okay, so like I said, you need a fair bit of onion for this, obviously, as it's the main ingredient in your dish. It's not a science. I do about between 2 and 3 medium-sized onions per bowl of soup that I'm intending on making. But you know what? It's not really, like I said, it's not a science. We're just gonna chop them up. Just like that. And keep on going. Then as these are getting cut up, we can just go toss them into the oil and butter that is now melted on the stove. Alright, while that's softening up, let's get some of this garlic out of here. Gonna get at this. Gonna use probably half this head of garlic. I do like my, well, just about everything. a little garlickier than most people do. But let's see, what do we get out of a half of one of these heads? The big cloves. 1, 2, 3, a couple of smaller ones, 4, 5, 6, 7 cloves of garlic or so going into this one. In case you don't know how to get garlic cloves out of their like paper wrapping, give them a crush with the side of the blade, and then they should just nicely peel right out of there. A little crushing action, and then the paper just peels right off. We'll toss these in a press. We'll get them into the pot. We'll add some salt and pepper while those are boiling down. I don't really understand why the garlic people wrap these things in paper. Like, what's the deal? Individually wrapped in paper cloves of garlic. That's just dumb. About, yeah. See, got about 8 cloves of garlic going in here. You don't have to use fresh pressed garlic. It is better. If you want to use garlic powder, use garlic powder. I do sometimes when I don't have any garlic and I don't want to go to the store. I'm not ashamed to admit it. That whole clove of garlic just went in there. Here. Fair bit of salt, fair bit of pepper. And we'll keep boiling them down. Oh, my house smells better than your house right now. I mean, I can't guarantee that, but I'm fairly sure. Alright, so the onions are getting pretty close. I'm going to give them a few more minutes. But let me just show you what it looks like. It looks kind of like a sludge. Basically, you're getting all of the crunchiness cooked out of the onions. You don't want to turn it into a paste, but it's not far short of that. So we'll give this a few more minutes, and then we'll add all of our liquids and start making the sludge into soup. Okay, so we're pretty good. Those are all nice and soft. So we are just gonna go ahead and we're gonna dump this whole jug of beef broth in here. This is a 900 milliliter jug of beef broth, 4 cups-ish. And then we're going to add, let's count them. 6 glugs of red wine. That was a full bottle. It's about a third of the bottle of red wine. We're going to bring this to a boil. And we're just going to let that cook on there for probably about an hour. At a low boil. Just to reduce this. Almost forgot to add my thyme. I don't put a ton in, I just like it as a little bit of an undertone. If it's not there, you notice if you've had it when it's been there. So it's not as much coming out as you think. Here, just go like this. Let's call it, with what I already put in there, and then this much more, call it a teaspoon. That's it, just a little hint. Alright, that has come up to a boil. We're just going to dial it down a little bit and let it cook at a slow simmer for about another 40 minutes or so. Go down to about 4. Oh. Alright, here's what it should be doing for a while. Just like that. And here's my cat. Right, there's actually a few more things that we need here. We need French onion soup bowls. I don't think I've ever been in a thrift store of any kind that didn't have some of these for like less than $2 a pop. You can find these if you don't have them at thrift stores, or I'm sure you can order them relatively inexpensively. You need something you can put in the oven and will have a handle you can take out because we are going to bake these soups. We need some kind of bread toast type product to put on the top of our soup. I use these baguette style croutons personally, but you can absolutely just toast a piece of bread and cut it in a circle and pop it on top. And we need some kind of nice flavorful but good melting cheese. Today I'm going to use Gouda. I have used Havarti. I have used provolone. Stay away from mozzarella. It's a little too bland. If I have done it with mozzarella before, it works fine. You just don't get the cheesy flavor out of it that you would out of something like a Gouda or a Havarti. So we are going to pop some soup in one of these. We're going to stick it in the oven under the broiler. And nice and toasty up the top, full of cheese and bread. Alright, keep an eye on it when it's under the broiler, because it can go from not done to done real quick. So give that another minute. Keep your eye on it though. See where we're at? Just starting to get brown on top. That's where I like mine. So, oh yeah. Yeah. All right, well, I'm gonna let that sit for a couple minutes before I burn the crap out of the inside of my mouth while eating it. But damn, that looks good. Well, there we go. We got ourselves a piping hot bowl of homemade French onion soup. I have a feeling this is gonna still be way too hot. See how I did? Yeah, pretty good. I'm not gonna make you sit here and watch me eat this whole bowl of soup. I'm not. I'm gonna make you watch me eat a little bit though. Oh, maybe could have done some more pepper, but that's pretty good soup. Anyway, give it a try if you like French onion soup. It's not as hard to make as you might think it is. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay safe, everybody. Bye for now. I'm gonna eat about 4 bowls of this soup right now. Might get the pepper. Still very hot. Still very hot. Bye, everybody.